What's good, Humble Squad? It's your boy HumbleZiggy, and we back here with another video. But today, this is gonna be one of those talking points. And hold on, I just gotta check on something. Alright, we good. Sorry, I had to check on my phone. But we gonna talk about what's been I guess you can say trending this past week or so. We're gonna talk about how with 21 Savage having this whole F the Streets movement going on. Now, we see the likes of Young Thug, YFN Lucci, G Herbo, Pooh Shiesty, and so on and so forth. And we seen them banding together, I guess you can say. We seen them sticking on to the movement or whatever, right? And here's my thing about it, right? Here's my thing. And look, you can say what I'm gonna say like this. The message where it says in it, and this is just my opinion, and if you want to agree, cool. If you don't, it is what it is. Here's my thing. F the streets. Now, people want to say about it being about how it could be tied into criminal stuff, and that may be true. I'm not saying it's not, but it is what it is, right? But also, when it comes down to it, you gotta realize when it comes to like being aware of certain things, right? What's popular nowadays? What's the common thing you always hear? What these streets talking about, right? Something like that, right? You always hearing that, like, because in the streets you will hear what's popular right now, like when it comes to either music, either fashion, or something, right? So 9 times out of 10 you need to hear what's going on in the streets, what the streets talking about, and so and so, right? But realistically, 9 times out of 10 it mostly always gonna talk about criminal stuff, especially when we're talking about the likes of 21 Savage and Young Thug and them and such, right? Here's my thing when it comes to that movement, right? The movement might, and I just say might, be a cool thing, but it's the certain people who is saying it. Where it's the likes of 20, and boy, the fact that it was 21 Savage who started this shit. I'm gonna say it like this. And look, and I've seen other people even talking about it, and I have to talk about it and just get it through my point of view. And trust me, I know others are saying it and have their reasons, but I literally said it on myself. Like the minute when I heard these tweets, and he was going on a whole rampage with the tweets too, trying to get Young Thug to squash it with Gunna, trying to get Quavo and Offset to squash their little thing, even hitting up Future on FaceTime and so on. So I'm gonna say it like this. Now, is it good that the unity is trying to come together? The Atlanta artists or so are trying to come together. I ain't saying nothing's wrong with that. Cool. But my thing is, y'all cannot tell me this don't look like a freaking PR stunt. Like, nigga. And ain't it? And the thing is, I'm gonna say it like this, especially when it came to 21 Savage. My nigga, you are not about to act like you've been trying to say this whole thing all this year. No, nigga. No. Don't try to do that. Because you wasn't saying that for many years, and especially when it came to your music and all your stuff, you wasn't saying all that ish before when you was selling your street music and whatnot, and it was making you get a whole lot of money and whatnot, right? It was making you getting that money of all and such, right? And when it came to your singles or album sales or whatever, right? You was getting that money for years. But now that you see that with how hip hop is shifting and such, where people want to hear something different. And by different, they mean they don't want to always hear about your damn street shit. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with trying to talk gangster music, right? Nothing is wrong with that. But the thing is, when it comes to niggas like a 21 Savage, like a Young Thug, like a freaking and I hate to want to use him cause literally he dropped a song as soon as he came out, Pooh Shiesty. Y'all are not about to want to talk about, oh, F the streets and all that, right? Y'all are about to start this movement when, and in fact that a niggas, who was it? And I think it was Pooh Shiesty who put Traumatized and such. I'm like, bruh, you not about to put about how, and especially when it was 21 Savage. Let me go back to him. He was the one who started it, saying about how traumatized this and that and such, right? And if you go look, that boy was on a tweeting rampage and such, right? Like I said, with talking about Future, talking about Quavo and Offset, talking about QC and all them motherfuckers, right? And it's like, bro, I know he's not on this tyrant about, on this movement about squashing the beef, squashing this and that and third, and acting like he's been doing this all the time. No. The reason why, nigga, he's saying that is because his new album that he has, What Happened to the Street, that bitch flopped. That shit is at 50K something, right? So you know what? And you think I'm lying? I'm gonna do it like this. Yes, this is all live and such. So 9 times out of 10, I don't even edit I really don't even edit most of the time, but I just let it go off the rip. But I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna search up his album sales for this new album that came out, right? The new album sales. So from what I see on, hold on. So that shit had 53K units, right? And comparing to the last one that he dropped from last year, which was American Dream, that had over 133K units. And hell, I'll even read the certain ones from like Drake with her loss with Drake. It was a 404K units, which was in 2022. Savage Mode 2 with Metro Boomin in 2020, 171K units. I always get that confused. It's greater than or so. I am greater than I was in 2018. That one was 131K view. So normally he's always around the 100K, right? But like I said, with how hip hop is switching out and such, with shifting up the guard, that people want to hear something that's more relatable, more this and that, them views ain't hitting like how it used, them sales ain't hitting like how it used to, right? And for any other artist too. But I do say that to say this: y'all are not about to talk about trying to say about F the streets. And it's so, and you know what's so crazy? I saw like a post on Instagram, and this just goes back to Kendrick Lamar's freaking Not Like Us song, where literally in the lyric where it says 21 gave you false street cred, and boy did it ever. And boy, after how this shit acted out, yeah, this nigga Kendrick is freaking Nostradamus at this point. We thought Cat Williams was last year. This nigga is too. With Not Like Us, shit. Cause boy, Kendrick, hey, it's like Kendrick. Why you think this nigga is called the boogeyman for a reason? Cause shit that he says or do, it would really shake up the culture and really expose some shit about people. And boy did it ever. Because it exposed how Young Thug is. It definitely exposed how 21 Savage is. And it's like, people need to realize when Kendrick Lamar speaks some shit, you better listen. Because this boy be telling you some gems. Y'all be thinking, oh, this and that. And you know what's so crazy? Just last year, when Kendrick dropped Watch the Party Die, boy was, and the crazy thing with this, that side of hip hop with the likes of like a 21 Savage, the Young Thugs, the Lil Babies and whatnot, right? When Kendrick dropped Watch the Party Die, and at first when I was reacting to it, I thought he was just going at shots at like Drake again or academics or whatever. But no, he was mostly talking about this type of, with how it's called this side of hip hop, like the ones I just mentioned, that side is dying. And they were on the vibes of, man, what he's talking that weird shit. That shit's weird and all, right? And it's so crazy, a year later, look what's happening. Oh, now y'all want to talk about, oh, it's F the streets, we need to set it back. Nah. Because y'all wasn't, like I said, y'all was not saying, and here's my thing too. 21 Savage, I know I'm always saying, like I said, it's all tying back to 21 Savage because he's the start of this shit. I'm going to say this. This is the same nigga who when he was on that interview with Big Bang or so, certain little glimpses, certain little moments I can take from that interview. One was when he talked about, when he was saying about in one of those tweets about how Thug need to squash the beef with Gunna. And I'm like, when I saw that tweet, he's talking about how he didn't say you, he didn't say him, he said we. He basically mean all of us together. We knew Gunna was a rat, but we swept it under the rug. So my nigga, if we're gonna go by the street code, right? If we're gonna go by the street culture and such, if the minute you know that somebody is a rat, then by how it goes, you should not be associated with that man, right? But nigga, if you know the first time, right? And you say you swept, so my nigga, you not, so at that point, you can't call yourself, you really can't say you from the streets no more. And hey, you know what's so crazy? I even saw a tweet from Boosie Badass. And I know he always goes on his long tantrums and such, but you know what he said in that tweet? He said that if y'all are on this movement, and basically when it comes down to the street, right? Y'all, like I said earlier, sometimes you gotta tap into the streets, because it's not mostly about criminal stuff or so. It's not always that. But you gotta know what's popular, what's going on right now, what people are saying, what people want to hear, and this and that. And as you as an artist, when you take that in, you gotta make sure you listening to them and you deliver on something different that they want to hear from you. So you gotta realize it's not always about the criminal shit. While granted, we want that shit to end, because 9 times out of 10 that shit be terrorizing the whole black nation, especially when it came to the black community. That shit needs to end, right? But you gotta look at it from not just only a criminal standpoint, but like from what people want to hear from you. Like really try to be not saying too vulnerable, but let it be relatable. You know what I mean? But like I was trying to say, 21 Savage, you in those tweets, you gonna talk about how you want Thug and Gunna to squash their little thing. But then in the same tweet, you gonna still, nigga, how you gonna try to want me to squash the beef with him, but then in the same time still diss me? Like, how does that work? Right? And then 2, you gonna talk about how now you wanna change, now you wanna set a new example or so. And again, I go back to that interview when he talked about the Kendrick and Drake beef. This was the same guy who said about, instead of keeping it rap, he literally gonna say, man, fuck all that rap shit. You say something like that to me, nigga, I'll do something to you. And I'm like, that just shows you this nigga don't really, like, that's such a negative, nigga, we trying to keep it rap. We trying to keep it in the music. And you need to tell me, basically, you that sensitive, nigga. That something on lyrics where, nigga, you of all people, nigga, you gonna talk about fuck the streets and all that? Nigga, you be talking about the damn streets in your music all the time. Like, what? And look, don't get me wrong, I love 21 Savage music from time to time, right? But don't start being hypocritical about certain shit where you're gonna talk about, oh, F the streets and all that. Nah, nigga. Cause one, for many years when your music was doing good, you was not at one point was talking about F the streets and such. Not at one point. And hell, and like I said, for Pooh Shiesty, you see how the minute when he came back in, right? Came back from jail. First song he dropped was FDO. First day out. The fact that that song outstreamed Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. Like, my nigga, it would be illegal to try and freaking touch December. Cause you can drop any music you want for the rest of the year. But once December comes along, that's all Mariah Carey. It don't matter what you drop in particular, and it could be fire. Once it's December, once it's that Christmas month, Mariah Carey touches December. You don't even try to remove her, right? But it's the fact that he sold out, outstreamed that song way more, with no hooks, just straight up bars, straight up metaphors and whatnot, punchline and such. He came back he came out rapping. That's what some of y'all niggas need to start doing. And like Boosie say, if y'all is so much on F the streets, then guess what? Like he said, take that shit out your vocabulary. The next song that some of y'all niggas dropped, I'm gonna say it like this. Same thing with Drake shit. Right? The same thing with Drake. The next song y'all better drop, I better not hear about you talking about no street shit. Don't talk about no street shit. Because right then and there, y'all are just as the same hypocrites as Drake is. Well, look, y'all let me know what y'all think. Cause hey, I said I always want to start doing more talking points, and especially where certain things like this or so is really, you have to talk about it. Let me know what your points is. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And I'm gonna say it again. The message in it, I'm not disagreeing with it. It's like depending on how you view it, and you know how I view it. But it's the wrong person who's delivering that message. The message itself is good, but the person who's advocating for it, sorry. The people who are advocating for it miss me with that BS. Cause y'all are not about to say about F the streets and all that when y'all were the same niggas who was in real life causing the trauma and the chaos and such in the streets. So I don't want to hear all that BS. Right? I won't hear all that coming from the motherfuckers who was the ones doing the trauma in the streets. But hey, like I said, sorry for this long video. Well, you know it was gonna be long, especially, hey, if you know me, I like to want to talk and such. So, but like I said, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this down in the comments below. Give me your thoughts and opinions. Do you think this is genuine, or do you think this is all a PR stunt? Cause like you heard me say, this is all a PR stunt. But you let me know your opinions down in the comments below. But been your boy HumbleZiggy signing out. Stay positive, keep the vibes up. I'm out.